Hello, welcome to Michelle Reads Books. Today we are starting out the Harry Potter series by looking at Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Yes, Philosopher's Stone. In America, it was shown as Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and that is simply for linguistic reasons. But the British version was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which is the original version, and that's why we're talking about it today. Anyway, I'll start out with a summary and then I'll give you my opinion. The book opens with a witch and a wizard delivering Harry Potter to his aunt and uncle's house in Surrey. His aunt, Petunia, and Uncle Vernon Dursley have a child about Harry's age named Dudley. Harry is forced to sleep in the tiny chamber under the stairs. Although his relatives are very concentrated on spoiling Dudley and ignoring Harry and keeping their lives as normal as possible, strange things happen around Harry his entire childhood. One day, Harry gets a letter from Hogwarts School. Harry's aunt and uncle keep the letter from him, and more letters arrive for him until the family eventually flees to a hut on the rock in the sea. However, this causes a half-giant wizard named Hagrid to visit them in person, to wish Harry a happy 11th birthday and to give him the letter that he still hadn't yet received. Harry learns he is also a wizard and has been accepted to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Hagrid takes Harry school shopping and explains that Harry's parents had been murdered by a powerful dark wizard named Voldemort, and that Harry's scar on his forehead was received when the dark wizard tried to murder Harry as well, but the curse backfired and destroyed Voldemort instead. During shopping, Harry buys a wand, a cauldron, school books, robes, and Hagrid gifts him a snowy owl named Hedwig. He also discovers he has a lot of money in Gringotts Bank left him by his parents. Harry takes the Hogwarts Express train from King's Cross Station, platform 9 3/4. On the train, he meets a friendly boy named Ron Weasley, and they become friends. He also briefly meets Hermione Granger, Draco Malfoy, and Neville Longbottom. At Hogwarts, all the first-year students go to the front of the dining hall, and a magical talking sorting hat chooses which house they are sent to. Draco is sorted in Slytherin, and Harry, Ron, and Hermione were all sorted into Gryffindor, although the hat debated putting Harry into Slytherin, which he asked it not to. The first few weeks, Harry enjoys new classes like Transfiguration, Potions, Defense Against the Dark Arts, and Charms. He also gets his first flying lesson on broomsticks. Harry shows himself a natural flying talent and is offered a place in the Gryffindor Quidditch team as Seeker. Harry's potions instructor, Professor Snape, seems to hate him on sight. One night, Harry, Ron, and Hermione find a giant three-headed dog guarding a trapdoor. On Halloween, a troll enters the castle. Harry and Ron realizes that Hermione doesn't know about it because she had been in the bathroom. They go to get her and discover the troll in the bathroom with her. Through pure luck, the boys manage to incapacitate the troll, saving Hermione. After that, the three of them become a trio of friends. During Harry's first Quidditch match, Harry's broom, which was a top-of-the-line Nimbus 2000 from Professor McGonagall, Harry's head of house, started acting up as if it were trying to buck Harry off the broom. Ron and Hermione observe Professor Snape muttering an incantation toward the broom. Hermione stops him by starting a small fire nearby, and Harry is able to catch the golden snitch by nearly swallowing it. At Christmas, Harry receives an anonymous gift, his father's invisibility cloak. Using the invisibility cloak, Harry discovers the Mirror of Erised, which shows him what he wants most, his family. Dumbledore, the headmaster, finds him and tells him not to think about it, and that the mirror would be moved now. Harry, Ron, and Hermione learn that Hagrid has hatched an illegal dragon egg and is trying to raise a dragon named Norbert. Ron knows some people who work with dragons through an older brother, and they help Hagrid arrange people to pick up the dragon and take him to a dragon colony. However, in trying to keep Hagrid's illegal activity a secret, Harry was out after hours. He received detention, as well as a few other students. For detention, they went with Hagrid into the forest to find what was killing the unicorns. Harry sees a form of Voldemort drinking the unicorn blood. He is saved by the centaur Firenze, who warns Harry that Voldemort is going to try to steal the Philosopher's Stone from Hogwarts in order to make an elixir of life to restore his body. Then Dumbledore leaves Hogwarts, and the three friends are worried that Snape, who they think is behind helping Voldemort, will try to get the Philosopher's Stone. The friends decide to try to get there first in order to stop Voldemort. They get past Fluffy, the three-headed dog, by playing some music. Through the trapdoor, they discover a devil's snare plant, which Hermione defeats with fire. They discover a room full of flying keys, only one of which fits the door. Harry catches it by using the broomstick. They face a giant chess set, which they have to play across, which Ron takes over, sacrificing himself to allow them to go on. Harry and Hermione go to the next room and find a row of potions with a logic riddle. One will allow you to go forward, another back. Harry decides to go forward, encouraging Hermione to go back and look after Ron. Harry then confronts not Professor Snape, but Professor Quirrell in the room with the Mirror of Erised. Quirrell explains that he had jinxed Harry's broom and Snape had tried to save Harry. Quirrell tries to get the stone from inside the mirror but cannot get it. When Harry looks in the mirror, he sees the stone fall into his pocket and actually feels it there. Then Quirrell reveals the face of Voldemort growing on the back of his head, under his turban. Quirrell tries to take the stone from Harry, but Quirrell's body burns when in contact with Harry's. Harry's scar burns, but he tries to touch Quirrell as much as possible, killing him and causing Harry to pass out. He awakens in the hospital wing of the school. Dumbledore explains that Harry has a charm placed on him because his mother sacrificed herself to save his life. This was what protected him and caused Quirrell to burn when touching him. He also explains that only those who wanted to get the stone but not use it could get the stone out of the mirror. He then says that in agreement with the maker of the stone, it will be destroyed. At the end of the year feast, Slytherin had the most points and would be receiving the house cup. But the last-minute points given to Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Neville caused Gryffindor to win the cup. Harry then returns to the Dursleys for the summer. Okay, what do I think of this? This is obviously a very well-written book. If it weren't so well-written, it wouldn't be so well-loved, yeah? And the thing that I dislike about it, I would say, is the ending. First of all, it's revealed that only those who wanted to get the stone but not use it would have been able to get it, which means it was actually perfectly safe where it was, because Quirrell could never have gotten it. He could never have gotten it. If Harry, Ron, and Hermione had left everything alone, it would have been fine. Besides the fact that how many, like 3 11-year-olds are going to go in to protect a stone that has all these enchantments guarding it. Do you really think that the 3 11-year-olds are more scary to Quirrell than all of the enchantments that were up? This is ridiculous. And then the ending with Gryffindor winning the House Cup is just eye-rollingly just so stupid. It's so stupid. Like, why? Like, just give Slytherin the win? Like, come on, it's not that the end of the world, and they obviously earned it. The biggest point that caused them to lose so many points was when Harry and the other kids got detention for being out of bed after hours. Like, that got them the most points lost, and so it was really Harry's fault that it got so low. And I see that they were trying to wrap up the story in a way that made it kind of an actual ending, like, oh, this is the ending of the story, and but kind of a triumphant ending, like if they hadn't continued on with the series. But it's just eye-rollingly weird. Like, the first one is probably the least well thought out of all of the Harry Potter books. It's just silly. It's just silly. Like, the majority of the book itself is really interesting, and then you get to the ending and you're like, oh my gosh, are you kidding? Yeah. But yeah, most of the book is really good. So if you do like books like this, then I think you will enjoy this one. Anyway, this one went relatively quickly. I think it was less than 7 hours to read it all the way through. So leave your opinions down in the comments below, and happy reading.